Have you started this month's self-care challenge yet? If not, stay tuned for some tips on how to join us. Hi, and welcome to Keeping Your Heart, the place where we explore ways to keep our hearts open and engaged as we walk alongside others. My name is Renee, and I'm so glad that you're here. If this is the first time, feel free to subscribe below and check the little bell so you'll be notified every single time that I'm uploading a video or I'm on live. And same invitation goes to those who've been here before but have not yet subscribed, so make sure that you do that below. So what is Keeping Your Heart? It's a place where we're exploring all kinds of ways that we can stay sustained and healthy in this practice of walking alongside people who experience trauma or difficulties or hardship. When we are being human and walking alongside others, often we are experiencing secondary or vicarious trauma. We have to make sure that we're really intentional about the ways that we are taking care of ourselves so that we can continue on in this journey and do it in a healthy way. So that's what this channel is about. We look at all kinds of different self-care opportunities. So far we've explored things like bullet journaling and a little bit of self-care practices and how to track that, some organizational things, and decluttering with Marie Kondo, engaging in writing letters and having pen pals and connecting to people outside of ourselves, surrounding ourselves with that kind of beauty and creativity looks like. So I thought what would be really great is if we could spend some time working on looking at a bunch of self-care practices. So I've developed this handy dandy little checklist of 31 days of self-care. You can find that linked below in the description, the link for that free resource that's for you that you can feel free to download and come alongside and do that. If you are participating in the month of March 2019, there is a giveaway attached to posting it on social media and tagging me so that I can see the ways that you're engaging with this type of practice. I would love to see how you are doing this and what it's brought up for you and learn from you, because we're all in this together. So I thought it'd be great to go through week number 1 of this. I've broken the practices down into 4 full weeks, and then the 3 last days. So today we are going to look at week 1 and briefly go through each one of those practices. And here's the great thing about this challenge. I didn't put any dates on it. So you can actually do it in any order that you would like, but I am just gonna go through week 1, number 1 through 7, so that we can look at what those look like together. So number 1 is a self-care assessment. You'll see down below in the description that I have linked one of my favorite ones that you can find online, and I have credited the people who came up with it at the University of Buffalo School of Social Work. They have a whole self-care kit that is a really great toolkit that's available to you if you want to dig deeper into assessing and working on a worksheet and developing your emergency self-care plan. Now I get some of you are saying what self-care is, and that's just supposed to be bubble baths and facials and cupcakes. It can be all of those things, but those may not be sustaining things. And so really taking a look at all of the different spheres of your life, that's mental, emotional, physical, relational, what's going on in your workplace, what's going on in your home. So it's a really honest assessment that says what is happening so that you can make whatever changes to your self-care plan in those spaces that you need to. There's no judgment. It is your assessment about what you need to do. So don't worry about that. You're not going to feel judged. It is just for you to explore other things that you might do. So that's day number 1. Day number 2, gratitude. So one thing that I've discovered is that, as you know, if you watched any of my monthly layouts, that I love my gratitude page. It's my favorite page in my monthly layout. I love coming to the end of the day, or even the next morning if I haven't finished it up by the end of the day, the next morning looking back and saying, wow, this moment really made the day for me. And it can be really simple things. Sometimes it's figuring out a particular database. Sometimes it's having lunch with a friend friend. Sometimes it's just getting things done that I haven't had done in a while. So things that have been on my to-do list for a very long time, and that's super satisfying. I'm grateful that that stress is no longer with me. In the gratitude challenge, I've encouraged you, if you followed on Instagram, to select 3 things in the day. So this, the 3 blessings challenge you may have read about or seen some other place. And what it is just finding those 3 things that you may be able to express gratitude for, those things that you're very glad that you got to see, do, or participate in, or observe. So sometimes people say to me, what if I can't find something for which I am grateful? So I have 3 things that I like to point out that might be a possibility for you. If you get to the end of the day and you have thought, man, this is a horrible day and there's nothing good in it, I would like you to contemplate 2 things. There's 3 things. Right, 3 blessings. Okay. So I'd like you to contemplate 3 things. 1, you made it to the end of the day and you did not die. That's something to be grateful for, right? Number 2, you didn't intentionally kill someone else. If you did intentionally kill someone else, you're probably not watching this video. So I'm going to just make this assumption right here, okay? And number 3, that you have a new day that's starting tomorrow. That you have a brand new chance to have a brand new day, and it's brand new, okay? So those are the 3 that you can focus on. If you can't find anything great in your day, just be grateful that it's done. And it could have ended a lot worse, and you'll have a brand new one tomorrow. So that's if you can't find anything, but I bet that you can. Number 3, affirmations or letters or notes. So I love, as you know, if you've followed any of the monthly layouts, I love to write affirmation notes to people in my life. And part of it is that I can get really focused on projects and forget to connect with people, and months go by. And I'm sure we're okay, but I'm not really affirming who they are as a person and how important they are in my life if I'm not taking the time to connect with them. So if I can't see them face to face, I love to take time and think about them and write positive things and send them a quick note. I know snail mail is, for some people, a thing of the past. So if that's not your deal, maybe a text is for you, maybe an instant message is for you. But there is something really special about going to your mailbox and opening up a beautifully decorated or written or selected note that tells you something about yourself that maybe that you needed reflected back that was really positive. There's been times that I've received those notes and the person had no idea what kind of week I was in, what was going on, and it meant a lot to me. So there's something about when you're a caregiver of someone who has a chronic illness, or someone who is struggling with mental illness, or someone who is struggling with trauma, is that you get stuck in the mundane, everyday slog of being everything, entering into that suffering with the person. And that's all that your caregiving looks like. That's all of your connection and giving looks like that. And it's not a two-way street because you are the caregiver for that person. And so having other relationships in which you are giving and receiving care help to remind you that you're not alone in humanity and you're not alone in this struggle and in this journey. And it's great, even in the affirmations, to say, as I'm going through this, I get hope, or I'm relieved, or I'm happy to know you, and it reminds me that there's more than just what I'm going through. So it's a window outside of the particular struggles or difficulties that you might be encountering in your journey at that time. So it's a great way to get kind of outside of yourself and connect with other people. So that's number 4. Oh, we finally got to the frou-frou part of the self-care challenge. So this is candles, incense, or aromatherapy. There's something very special about a space that smells a way that is comforting. That smells and scents are so powerful for us. They help to remind us of things. They give there's ritual to it. So you know that when it gets to a certain time of year, you're like, oh, I smell Christmas trees, or I smell peppermint, or I smell pumpkin spice latte. which may not be a happy thing for some of you, but to be able to smell those types of things, or cinnamon, it just reminds us it's this time and we have these memories that are wrapped up in it. So that can be a really positive thing for us. And sometimes we need to set a place apart. We need to make it other than what we've experienced, especially if we've had a lot of difficult experiences or memories in a place. Sometimes switching up the scent to something that is comforting for us can help to take us away from that, change our attitudes or our understanding of the place. Not to mention, there's been lots of documented benefits of aromatherapy. There are scents that can excite us, and there are scents that can calm us, and there are scents that can ground us. And so taking a look at what those things are for you, and it may not even be, if it's candle or incense or aromatherapy is not your thing, it could be as simple as chewing a piece of gum that has a particular scent, like cinnamon or spearmint or peppermint or bubblegum or grape or whatever it happens to be. So if that candle, aromatherapy, incense thing is not your deal, it could be a hard candy or a gum that would do that for you. Number 5, reading for pleasure. Whew. I remember that after my kiddos moved in, it was a long time before I had the wherewithal to actually read for pleasure. And it was a big deal for me when I got to do that again. And so calendaring and taking some time, whether it's a short story, whether it's an article, whether it is starting a book, whatever that is, just taking a moment and looking at reading for pleasure. And maybe that's something that actually really helps to calm and soothe your mind at the end of the day. It's better for our brains if we're reading than if we are on the screen before bed, because our brains will calm down. There's been lots and lots of research about that. So maybe that's a great time. Maybe if you have a break during the day, or you ask someone to take over something and spend some time just seeing if this is something that you need to incorporate into your regular schedule so that you can continue to have the imagination and the creativity to explore and visualize something else. If you are reading fiction, or so that you can inhabit someone else's story if you're reading nonfiction. So that is another opportunity for us to explore some self-care. Number 6, breath practice. So here's the deal. I'm going to make a whole little video about that, and I will put it in a card in one of these corners. I don't know which one it is at the moment, but one of these corners, there'll be a card about a breath practice that we will have for this week. So breath practice is really important. It can reset our bodies in all of these different systems. And one of the things that is most life-giving for us happens to be breath. In fact, we can't live without it. We can go without water for quite a while. We can go without food for quite a while. We can go without lots of things, but we can't go without breath. So it's super important to us to be able to grasp it when we need it, to hold it when we need it, and to let go of it when we need it. So keep your eyes peeled for number 7. There we go. All right. So this is the part where you might get a little cranky at me, but I'm telling you that this is the thing. Do something that you've been putting off, okay? That thing that you've been putting off on top of all of the other things that you're handling as you're walking alongside other people is causing you stress, okay? So no matter what it is, if it is, for me right now, it's taxes, right? The papers are sitting right there on my desk. I haven't touched them, kind of dreading it. Pretty sure we're gonna owe money this year. Not looking forward to it. But the minute that I finish it, even if I owe money, I'm going to feel better because the unknown isn't there. I don't have the stress. It's not on my to-do list as it's been for several weeks, and I can move on and be more present with others and more present in the other parts of things that I'm doing to take care of myself. So find that thing no matter what it is. Developing a meal plan, making that doctor's appointment, having that tough conversation with someone, in that area of your house that you do not like and enjoy cleaning. For me, that would be probably the mud room with the cat box. Not my favorite. So finding out whatever that thing is, you know what it is. You don't even have to think about it really hard because it's the thing that's bugging you right now as you're like, I should be doing this thing instead of watching this video. So take care of that thing today on day number 7 or anytime that you want this week or during this self-care challenge. I promise you it will reduce the stress in your life and you will be able to breathe easier. So that is it for week number 1 of the March 2019 self-care challenge. Again, if you're watching that during this month of March 2019, check out below how you can participate with us on social media and post it on Facebook or Instagram or other places so that we can see what you are doing to take care of yourself, how you are engaging, and how to keep your heart. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't before. And if there's one of these that you know that you do not like, go ahead and put that in the comments below. I want to see the one that you said, you know what, I don't think I'm going to do that, or I really hate it. Also, I'd love to read which ones you hadn't ever thought of before or that you were so glad to be reminded of. Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to read that. I will respond to every single comment that is posted. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. There's some videos here and here for you to look at, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to keep your heart. Bye.